Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Discover Asea presentation. My name is Alan Noble, and just a little bit about myself before we get started. I'm originally from Ireland. You're going to have a whole call full of accents tonight, from Irish accents to Australian accents. This is our international call here tonight, but I'm originally from Ireland. I now live in Dallas, Texas. And as far as this presentation is concerned, what I'd like you to know is that I actually started my journey with Asea and this incredible company and this technology that I'm going to share with you almost 10 years ago. Next week will be my 10-year anniversary in this great company. And so it really is an honor and a privilege to be able to share this information with you. Big warm welcome to all of our associates that are dialing in from all over the world, but a special warm welcome to any of our brand new guests that are maybe listening to this information for the very first time. Now, what we're going to do in this call, the first thing I'm going to do is introduce you to the breakthrough that changes everything. This is a new category of science that is 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. For 2 decades, science said that what's inside this little blue bottle was impossible. It could not be done. So impossible has become possible here. And what we've created is one of the most significant health, athletic, and anti-aging breakthroughs of our lifetime. Now, breakthroughs create opportunity. The bigger the breakthrough, the bigger the opportunity. So the first half of this call, I'm going to unwrap this huge breakthrough so that you walk away at least knowing what is inside this blue bottle. And then I'm going to talk about the opportunity. But in between, I'm going to introduce you to some people that have had their lives changed with this technology. And I said, tonight, all of our guest speakers are coming from the land down under. We're coming in from Australia. So very excited to hear from them. But let's get into this breakthrough. I think a good place to start is what Asea is not. It is not a vitamin or mineral or antioxidant or exotic juice. This technology goes beyond nutrition, it goes beyond ingredients, and yet it can impact your health at a depth that no other supplement has ever come close to achieving. In order to grasp the Asea breakthrough, you've got to understand your body is the most complex communication network on earth. Every second of every day, your cells are passing tremendous amounts of information within the cell, cells to cells, throughout all the systems of your body, including your immune system. Any breakdown in this signaling, and you cannot achieve your full health and healing potential. A simple example of this, your house is on fire. You call the fire department. They're there with their big red truck, the firefighters, the fire hose, everything that they need to put out the fire. But what if you have a bad cell signal, pun intended? Okay, what if they don't get the message? What if there's background noise or the call keeps dropping? You're going to find that they're not going to be able to put out the fire. They don't know about it and your house goes up in smoke. What I'm going to introduce to you is the only product available today that contains the very molecules that are critical for this cell signaling process. So to understand this, we live and die at the cellular level. Everything happens at the cellular level. And as science looks deeper inside your 75 trillion cells, they have discovered a set of molecules called redox signaling molecules. These are the molecules that are critical for that signaling process. So think of your cells like little bags of salt water, and in there you've got mitochondria. They're your electrical power plants that are producing energy. As that energy production is going on, they're spitting out these signaling molecules. So a couple of things. Number one, you're making these right now, okay? These are native to your body. They're native to your body, just like your saliva or your tears. They're native to your body, different to all natural. A blueberry is all natural, but your body doesn't make blueberries. Your body is making these redox signaling molecules, okay? Here's the challenge. With age, with stress, with the very toxic world that we live in today, we're beginning to make less of these molecules. And so things just don't work as well as they used to. And you begin to see and feel the effects of aging. So common sense should probably kick in at this point. You go, well, look, if we're short of these molecules, let's just take a supplement. We've been doing it with vitamins, with minerals, with antioxidants. Let's take a redox signaling supplement. Well, remember I said for 2 decades, science said that this was impossible. It could not be done. These molecules are very, very fleeting inside your cells. They don't hang around very long. I like to call them fleeting angels. They do their good work and then they're gone, okay? And so science has said it was impossible to stabilize them outside the body. Think about trying to stabilize a spark. How do you make a spark and then maybe catch it in a glass and you take that to the party at the weekend to light the barbecue? You can't do it. It's a spark. It's fleeting. These little sparks in your cells are very fleeting. So this is the big breakthrough behind Asea. And literally we have created the world's first and still today only redox signaling supplement, the only product in the world that you can refuel and replenish and restore your cells with more of these molecules that are absolutely critical to this signaling process. So I want to take you through a little bit of our 3-step process. It's not to get lost in the science. What is to do is if you turn around a bottle of Asea and you look at the label on the back, you're going to see it says salt and water. Those are the ingredients that we make this product from. And you might think, well, hold on a second, is this just a bottle of salt and water? The answer is no. This is a bottle of trillions and trillions of these redox signaling molecules that we've made from that salt and water. We take it through a very complex 3-day, 3-step, heavily patented process. And this process is so complex that it took another 5 years just to go from the drink to a topical gel, okay? So very, very complex technology. Nobody else in the world has been able to do it except ourselves. Now, anytime you're bringing a technology like this to the marketplace, number one, you want to patent it so there's not a whole lot of copycats and competition. Number two, you want to make sure you've got third-party validation saying this is real. And every single batch of our product is tested by one of the largest independent laboratories in the country, Bioagilytics. They work with some of the top pharmaceutical companies in the industry, and they test every single batch to say that these products are redox certified. They contain these powerful redox signaling molecules. So let's take a look at another piece of science that we produced. Torrent Labs. Now, Torrent Labs is one of the top gene testing institutions in the world. They actually work very, very closely with Ancestry.com. I'm sure you've heard of that company. And they did an 8-week study for us. This was a double-blind placebo study. They wanted to find out what would happen to gene expression, to gene signaling. You know, I talked about the importance of cell-to-cell signaling, but genetic signaling is incredibly important. That's the foundation of it all. What we discovered is that in only 8 weeks, we were able to activate 5 important gene signaling pathways and increase that signal by up to 31%. These signaling pathways have a direct impact on 5 major areas of your health. Now, as I go through this list, or as you look at it, think about people in your close family circle, maybe your own life, okay, loved ones, immune system, inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, digestive health, hormone modulation, okay? This covers a lot of people and a lot of health issues, okay? Now, this is only scratching the surface, guys. One of these pathways that's called EGR1, they have strange names, these pathways, EGR1. This one pathway opens up another 15 signaling pathways. And you can read kind of the list here. I just want to point out one, the NRF2 pathway. This pathway is critical for antioxidant production and activation in the body, okay? Really important for detoxifying the cells to get rid of all of that junk that's been stored in our body, what we're eating, what we're breathing, okay? Getting rid of all of that, increasing our glutathione and superoxide dismutase antioxidants. Very, very important signaling pathway. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. You can see that this technology is so broad in how it impacts the body because it's getting down to this absolute foundational level, which is often the missing link for so many people, and that is this critical signaling, cell signaling, and even genetic signaling. So what are people saying about this? Anne-Louise Gittleman, she's written many best-selling books. She says, look, this is the greatest advance in lifestyle medicine. which harnesses the power of your own body to keep it well. Let me stress something, particularly as we come up to hear some stories of what's happening in people's lives. Asea is not a treatment or cure for any disease or medical condition. It's not. It's a holistic product that is providing your body a really powerful resource, not a vitamin, not a mineral, but these critical signaling molecules that enhance your body's ability to signal and communicate and actually move towards your full health and healing potential. That's what we're doing here. It's harnessing the power of your own body to keep it well. Dr. Gary Samuelson, who was instrumental in the stabilization of these molecules, this technology has the potential to spearhead some of the greatest advances in health that we have ever seen. Now, it's not just health. We also notice athletes were able to run further, faster, longer, harder. We did a little mice study. What we did is we put mice on a treadmill for 7 days. And the mice drinking Asea ran 29% further to exhaustion than the mice not drinking Asea. When we wanted to figure out why that was happening, we noticed there were significant metabolic shifts that allowed their bodies to burn fat as fuel as opposed to just sugars. Now, this is really important. If you're going to the gym and you're doing your 30, 40 minutes of cardio trying to maybe get into a lower pant size, drink Asea before your workout helps shift that metabolism into fat burning mode, okay? So it's going to help you look better, but it's also going to help you perform better. And now athletes like gold medal Olympic athletes, Breja Larson, Cody Miller, part of the American Olympic gold medal team, triathletes, Ironmen, all sorts of sports people are beginning to realize the athletic advantage with Asea. And then the skin. This topical use, actually using these molecules on the surface of our body. Renew 28, our miracle gel. Now, there's really 5 applications that I've really come up with that you can use this gel. Number 1, who would like to age slower? 10 years from now, do you want to look 10 years older? Or would you like to maybe look 2 or 3 or 4 years older? Would you like to slow down the aging process? Well, not only do we have hundreds, maybe even thousands of before and after pictures, like the one you're seeing here. This was in 28 days before and after. But we have independent clinical studies from very, very credible institutions. Dermatest, one of the largest dermatological institutes in Europe, in Germany. Stevens and Associates, based here in Dallas, Texas. And we've just seen some really amazing stuff with our independent studies. Skin challenges. As we get older, these age spots and blemishes, or what about as we're younger and our teenage kids and young adults, redness and irritation, guys, we have a healthy, non-toxic solution for beautiful skin. What about all the cuts, the bumps, the scrapes, the bruises, the stings, the bites, all these little things that happen to us? Renew 28. Look, when my kids fall off the bike, the first thing they do is they go reach for Renew 28. Just a couple of weeks ago, I whacked my shins on the end of a bedpost and really hurt my leg. My daughter went running to get the tube of Renew 28. You know, my 7-year-old is smart enough to know these molecules can enhance that healing process. Discomfort relief. What we noticed was if you've got any discomfort, your elbows, your shoulders, any part of your body, if you rub this gel on there 3 times in 5 minutes, it's amazing. We see about a 90% success rate in people feeling better, okay? And then just general health. Look, these are the same molecules that enhance the signaling in the body. We're just now talking on the topical side. So this gentleman had been out of work for over a year, had some serious health issues going on, and you could see day 0 here, he's not looking great. He started using the gel. 22 days into this, and it's like the life's back in his eyes again, okay? He's looking like a different person. And that transformation using our gel was so remarkable to him that he started drinking the drink, the Asea Redox product. And within a couple of weeks, he's back to work again for the first time in a year, not only getting his health back, but also his financial dignity. So just incredibly powerful product. Now, based on the success of this gel, we built an entire skincare range. I don't have time to get into it tonight. We could do a whole presentation on it. But guys, this is beautiful skincare. Clinically tested, 100% of people tested saw improvements using these products. No parabens, no sulfates, none of the nasty stuff. We're trying to live in a toxic-free world. So really clean, but very, very effective products. Cleanser, moisturizer, and a serum, which is like an ultra-concentrated version of the gel. Last thing I want to cover here just on products, again, just briefly mentioning it on this call, and that is we do actually have a nutritional range of products as well. Many people are familiar with whole food nutrition and the importance of taking our nutrition from whole food sources as opposed to synthetic isolated sources. Source represents 26 very powerful foods from land, from the ocean, with highly absorbable technologies to really drive that nutrition into our bodies. Gut health has become the buzzword in health today. We've got a fantastic holistic gut health product, probiotics, prebiotics, and herbal support. And then just a really exciting anti-aging vitality formula with just some really cool ingredients, mushrooms, some cordyceps, some turmeric, and pomegranate, and some other wonderful things in there. What I really want to show you is how the nutrition goes hand in hand with the Asea Redox. So if you think of the nutrition like the building blocks, if your house is in disrepair, you need to fix the roof. You need the materials. Your floor, you need the materials. Your door, your window, you need the building materials. The nutrition, what I'm showing you here on the left, these are the building materials. But what if no labor shows up? What if no labor shows up to actually get the work done? And that's why I call Asea Redox the missing link for so many people in their journey to better health. Because they've maybe got all of the building blocks, but the labor's not showing up, okay? We're the only company in the world to offer you the materials and the labor to get the work done. And guys, this is what makes us the premier cellular health company in the world. Now, I want to get into what is absolutely my favorite part of this call, and that is to hear from some people as they share their lives changed, what these products have done for them. And again, I want to stress as we go through this part of the call, Asea is not a treatment or cure for any disease or medical condition. We are simply feeding the body a very valuable resource that you cannot get anywhere else, okay? And we're allowing our bodies to refuel and replenish our redox signaling molecules, helping our bodies signal and communicate to really achieve our full health potential. So we are going to start with Charlotte. Hey, Charlotte, if you can open up your camera and mic here. There we go. Hey, Charlotte, welcome to our call. Charlotte is from Western Australia, I think a couple of hours outside Perth, if I'm right. And Charlotte, tell us a little bit about your background and what the Asea technology's done for you.
Okay, so I am from a little coastal town south of Perth called Dunsborough. I'm 53. And I've always had a passion for different sports and working out at the gym. And I've been playing a game called Ultimate Frisbee since I was 23 at a national level, becoming a personal trainer at 35. And then I started playing social soccer the year I turned 45, which was 9 years ago. It was around that time, though, menopause hit me quite hard. And I had all the typical symptoms, progressively getting worse. I had weight gain. My joints and muscles progressively got more and more uncomfortable. I had lack of sleep due to hot flushes. I became moody, apparently. I was depressed, anxious. And a result of all of this, my self-esteem became very low. I became very introverted, which wasn't like me at all. I stopped wanting to go out socialising, and even on weekends I used to watch my family go to the beach, and I stayed home. So at this time also I made a decision that I was getting old and stopped going to the gym. And I had come to the realisation with much sadness that I had played my last national ultimate tournament. Although 4 years ago, I had a phone call from my very good friend, Jeska Maas. We had been friends for 15 years. We'd been good support for each other as single mothers to naughty little boys. And I'm very grateful that she did reach out to share this Redox technology called Asea with me. I listened, but I wasn't ready. She called me back again a couple of months later. I listened again, still wasn't ready. And then I got a call from her beautiful husband, Sep, who told me of his first little wonderful story of his success with Asea. And I was ready to really listen then. And that's when my journey started with Asea. Within a week, I had less anxiety. I felt less depressed. At that time too, I was on a lot of naturopathic pills, which, I was rattling around the place. I decided to put them aside. And with a few weeks, I had returned back to the gym with determination, and a lot of calmness and clarity started entering my life again, which was very comforting. So within 6 months, I had lost all my menopausal weight. I'd become stronger, fitter, and so much happier. And 1 year on from there, I had trialled and was selected for the West Australian State Women's Ultimate Team to play nationals. And at 51 was the oldest player to do so. Since then, I've played 2 more nationals. And this year, I'm starting training to hopefully be selected for Grandmasters team in Ultimate, which is ages 38 plus, to play Worlds in 2020 in Australia. So I am very proud to say that then I will be 54. And I'll never look back. And I thank Sep and Jeske very much for reaching out to me and sharing this wonderful technology with me.
Very, very good. Very good. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Charlotte. Really appreciate it. And all the very best with the future, the upcoming trials. I hope they all go great. So thank you for sharing. Absolutely changed your life. Interesting. Please note, guys, said no 2 times. 3rd time it clicked. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Okay, we're going to go over to the other side of Australia, to the Blue Mountains, about 100 miles outside Sydney in New South Wales. So, Julia, thank you for joining us here on the call. Tell us a little bit about your Asea experience.
Sure. So, for about 5 years, I had gut issues that were really painful, actually, and hurt a lot. And I had tiredness that was just really affected my life in so many different ways. In the afternoons, I would have to rest and sleep, and I would have to be on this whole regime of eating and practitioners and all sorts of things just to be okay in life. And I was managing life rather than really enjoying it. And one day Sep, who was a friend from 20 years ago, posted something on Facebook, and I was intrigued about Asea Redox, and I gave him a call, and after a while, I actually just got the gel to start with, but after a while saw what happened with the gel and decided I'm going to drink this. 3 weeks into drinking it, for 3 weeks there was nothing. I didn't notice anything particular, but 3 weeks in, I noticed mental clarity that was something I hadn't felt for about 20 years. It was just delightful. And going together with that, my gut seemed to be getting better. 2.5 months into drinking it, I felt wonderful. I had lots of energy. I no longer had those gut issues. I could go out socially, whenever I wanted. In the afternoons when my children got home from school, I was there and present and enjoying myself and just enjoying them and being the mother I wanted to be, which was delightful. That was, more than 2 years ago now. And since that time, my body has continued to get healthier and healthier. Things like gum health and teeth health, varicose veins disappearing, lots of weight that's come off, and people have noticed. And I have to say, I am so grateful. My life really has been totally blessed by this, and grateful I have Sep and Jeske in my life telling me about that.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. I love what you said there. You were just managing life instead of really living it, instead of enjoying it, instead of having fun. And you can tell just by what you're talking about, just you're having fun. You're glowing. So I just really appreciate you sharing your story. Julia, thank you so much for joining us on tonight's call. Okay, we have got one more story to share, what this technology is doing for people. Michelle, we're going to go to, we're back to Perth. We're zigzagging across Australia tonight. So we're going back to the western coast, Perth. Michelle, tell us a little bit about your Asea experience.
Sure. So for the last 30 plus years since I was a child, I've had reoccurring health challenges, and it's spread through wrists and hands, feet, knees, ankles. A lot of inflammation, excessive discomfort, and joint mobility issues, along with extreme tiredness, pins and needles, and numbness. One day I'll be fine, the next day I might not be able to move a joint. I've undergone so many different doctors, therapies, specialists. They've tried to look to see what was wrong, and no one really knew. The different treatments is range from being in a wheelchair, I've had crutches, I've had operations, I've had splints and casts made to force my joints into certain positions, but nothing really worked. I've also tried alternative therapies, chiro, kinesiology, acupuncture, you name it, the works. And as a child, that kind of wrecked me. It's quite difficult, and kids can be pretty cruel, especially when you're kind of different and having an issue. So emotionally, I wasn't particularly equipped to deal with that, so I was in quite dark and sad places, and that went on throughout my life. Fast forward to about a year ago, a really good friend of mine introduced me to Redox and asked me to come to a presentation. I kind of rolled my eyes, yeah, heard it all before, bit of a skeptic, but I've always had one eye open, hoping for this miracle. I went along to a presentation, not too dissimilar to what you're doing today, Al, and the science was compelling, but I wasn't quite convinced until we started using the gel. So at this point, my arm was the issue. Quite a lot of discomfort, couldn't even lift a glass of water. We tried the gel 3 and 5 minutes, and within 10 minutes, that discomfort just dissipated. I was really, really shocked. Couldn't quite believe it. It came back, but I know that was the only thing that's ever really made a difference in the last 3 to 6 months of that particular issue. I took the product, started drinking it, using the gel. Within the first 3 or 4 weeks, that dark cloud kind of lifted. The light bulbs started switching on, and I actually wanted to get out of bed and do things. I got a bit frustrated within the next few months because the discomfort levels weren't changing as quickly as I'd like to, but that was my wish. So I carried on taking the product. Within about 4 to 5 months, I remember really in the shower one day washing my hair, and I was like, my arm, the discomfort was gone, and that's that point that changed my life. I don't really remember how I used to be anymore. Sorry.
I really appreciate it. You're getting me a little choked up here, Michelle. So.
Sorry. But no, I'm so incredibly grateful for this product. It's changed my life. I'm not that person anymore, so thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. Michelle, thank you. Thank you for sharing your incredible story, something that haunted you for 30 years since your time in school. And I think sometimes we use the term life-changing a little bit to, we find a new flavor of coffee and it's life-changing. No, it's a new flavor of coffee. What I want the listeners to understand here tonight, guys, is we have a technology that truly has the potential to be life-changing for people. And you've just heard some great stories here from our friends in Australia. So, Michelle, thank you very much for sharing tonight. Julia, thank you. Charlotte, thank you. And I'm going to move into the next part of our presentation. So, as I said earlier, when you have a breakthrough, that often can create opportunities. And the bigger that breakthrough is, the bigger the opportunity is. So think about what you've just heard here in the last 30 minutes. You've got a high impact technology that is life-changing by the true definition of those words. No other company in the world has this technology. Nobody. Not even a variation of it. Not even an inferior version of it. This is it, standalone, no competition, no copycats. And virtually nobody knows about it. I would say in Australia, in America, any of our open markets, less than 1% of the population have even heard of Asea, Renew 28, or redox signaling molecules. They don't know about this. And for the right person, this opens up a tremendous, tremendous opportunity. I'm not going to take too long on this because I really want to get to our next speaker, but I do think it's important that you understand who Asea is. I've explained what Asea is. I want to explain who Asea is, because if you're looking at this as an entrepreneur, thinking maybe this can provide an additional stream of income, maybe this can be a shift in careers or whatever it is for you, it's important to know who you're getting into business with. And so almost 10 years to the day, I met Vertus Norton, and I shook this man's hand, and he shared this story with me. And then I got to meet his son, Tyler Norton. And these incredible businessmen had bought a technology from a struggling biotech company. Their goal was to stabilize it and sell it to the pharmaceutical industry. But in the meantime, they started a handful of people using the product. It was about 40 people. Those 40 people, because of the results they were getting, shared it with others. Now 135 people are using the technology. The pharmaceutical company flies in, says, we know what this can do. We want it. We're going to write you a check big enough that you don't have to talk to anybody else. However, every single person using the product has to come off it. It's a choice. Do you choose the people or do you choose the payout? And I want you to know, in this world where greed just seems to be part of business, this is a company that put people and principles and purpose ahead of pure ego and economics. And when I heard that story, I said, as an entrepreneur, that is a company that I would love to partner with. And so that's who Asea is, and that hasn't changed in 10 years. This company appreciates their customers, and they appreciate the people that partner with them to help tell the world. Now, that is the next question. How are we going to tell the world that this technology exists? Sometimes people say, hey, look, if your products are good, why does my doctor not know about it? Well, number one, it's not a drug. It's not a treatment or cure for any disease or medical condition. It's a holistic product that enhances your body's ability to take care of itself. And truthfully, most doctors don't really deal in that kind of holistic health, okay? Well, if your product's so good, why is it not in the health food store? Well, what would you do if you walked into the health food store, saw this blue bottle, turned it around and said, salt and water? Are you going to buy it? And then you go, Redox certified. Well, I've never heard of redox signaling molecules. What's that about? And it goes back on the shelf. And you've no idea that you've walked past the most significant breakthrough in health. You've no concept of it. This product needed a little explanation. It needed a little personal experience, a personal touch. Listen to how all these people were connected from somebody that had discovered this and said, hey, look, you deserve to know about it. And that's how we decided to go tell the world that this technology exists. And that's what gives you a tremendous opportunity to partner with us and help us do that. Have we been successful? You be the judge. Take a look at this. Let me just bring them all up so we can go through them fast. This is a very well-run company, profitable since our first year in business. We own our own manufacturing facility. We've 29 legal entities that allow us to do business in over 30 countries. We've 18 distribution centers. And we support our associates in 16 different languages, okay? We've achieved over $500 million in sales. We've paid out over $250 million in commissions. And we now have 23 members that are members of the $1 Million Earners Club. We've actually 2 that are members of the $10 Million Earners Club. We've had year-on-year growth, and we have transformed. Just the 3 stories you heard tonight, guys, are just the tip of a tip of a tip of an iceberg. We have transformed tens of thousands of people's lives with this technology. Here's an interesting question. How much income would it take to make a significant difference in your life? Maybe let me say, how much residual income would it take to make a significant difference in your life? And we find that 4 main types of people join us in this business. Those that just simply want to make an extra few $100s a month, okay? Too much month left at the end of the money. The average home goes into foreclosure because that couple is $500 short every month. Maybe you want to be your own boss. I realized at 23 years of age, I was psychologically unemployable. I didn't want to clock in and clock out for 40 years. I wanted to be my own boss. This business model has allowed me to do that. Maybe plan B, everything's great, you love your life, but guess what? You should always have a plan B. By the time you need a plan B, it's too late. I always feel very sorry for people that have lost their job or there's been an illness and they didn't have a plan B and now they're stuck, okay? Start developing a plan B while your plan A is going great. And then what about lifestyle income? You believe you deserve to have it all. Look, this is our income disclosure statement in 2019. Guys, these are real monthly average incomes of real associates in our business. And you can see they start, hey, a few $100s and they go up considerably from there, okay, into what I think most would call lifestyle income, monthly income. Another question you might have is, can I do this? Never done something like this before. Maybe I tried something like this before but wasn't successful. Guys, we've got the company with integrity that's very, very well run. We've got the most remarkable product range that this industry's ever seen. And you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. There's a lot of support. We've presentation tools to help you tell the story. We don't expect you to go out and explain Redox to people. Let our videos do that for you. And if you decide to get started, we've got full training programs that will teach you simple steps of how to build your business. And even daily support calls every day, Monday through Friday, that you can plug into live or recorded. Hear lives changed every single morning. Hear a training tip to help you build your business. So everything's in place for your success. If you want to join us in the business, it's super simple. 1, 2, 3. Step 1, enroll as an associate. In the United States, that's $40. You get your own website. You get a back office that tracks your business as it grows. We encourage you to do a one-time enrollment order. Become a product of the product. Start experiencing these molecules for yourself. Start experiencing the skincare. Start experiencing our nutritional products. Discounted packs are available one time on enrollment. And then set up a very user-friendly auto ship. You can cancel out auto ship at any time, but you set yourself up like you actually expect to win in the business. And we've got a loyalty rewards program that rewards auto ship. And basically you can accumulate points, kind of think like airline miles, that you can cash those points in for free product. And so just a fantastic program. Now you can get back to the person who invited you here and get a lot more details on that. This is Virtus Norton. I love this saying. We're all at the start of something big with great purpose, and now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. Now, a couple that caught this vision back in 2014 are our final guests here tonight, Sepp Hock and Jeske Maas. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Now you are, to get the map out here, you're in Noosa. I love that name, Noosa. And that is in the Sunshine Coast, just about a couple of hours north of Brisbane in Queensland. So thank you so much for joining us on this call. And hey, just to get started here, tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. Ladies first, Jeske, tell us a little bit about your background.
Thank you, Alan. I'm an event manager specializing in festivals and especially film festivals. And I also ended up being the office manager for our eco-sustainable building company.
Cool. And Sepp, what about you?
My background, Alan, is I was a builder in the industry for over 37 years, loved it with a passion. So I was very good with my hands, design, energy efficiency stuff. So that's swinging a hammer was my gig and working with wood.
Very cool. So tell us, where were you when Asea crossed your path? And when I say where were you physically? Where were you financially when this incredible company and opportunity crossed your path?
I was actually at one of those critical points in my life. We had a very, very successful building company. We were in the top 8 of all of Australia for the whole country with our company in design and build. But I was carrying a really severe injury that was the most excruciating discomfort you could ever dream of. And I was pretty much told that I had to give up building and working on the tools. And so that was devastating. And I was definitely looking for I was looking for another way that I could do what I'm extremely passionate about, and that's working with people, making a difference, teams. That's what a builder is all about. And so that's kind of where, and I was really grateful for when a trusted dear friend of mine, Melissa, came into my life at the time that I was looking, but I didn't know what I was looking for because I didn't know what to do next. So we were friends for 20 years, so we knew each other well. There was a lot of trust there. So that's where I was at prior.
And I was actually secretly wishing for a way out of our building company because I'm very much a people person, and my mission in life always has been is to make a difference to someone's life with so that they have a smile on their face. And the building company didn't really do it for me. At the same time, we were separate. We loved being together, even though our business was together. I was in the office and Seth was out. Long, long days. He'd come back in the evening very, very tired and still having to do some design work. So that wasn't really my kind of fun, even though the money was really good. So then with this change, I welcomed that in a sense. It wasn't the best circumstances because Seth was in a lot of discomfort. But with that new opportunity, I actually didn't embrace it at first, but I saw it as an opportunity for myself to go out and find a job, which is something that I hadn't had for a while. But I thought a job could be very peaceful. But I found also then that the job was very difficult for me to find here. I was overqualified and too old. And so that's really what was happening for me.
Very cool. So Asea then crosses your path from Seth, from a good friend, from Melissa. And what was it that caught your attention about the Asea? What was it that you said, you know what, this is something we need to be part of? And then tell us what your journey's been like.
Okay. I've been in network marketing before, and I love it with a passion because it's very similar to what I do anyway throughout my whole life. I'm from a big family of 10 kids, so there was always people around, and I love the building because it was about people and teams and doing things and getting things done. And the end result was everybody wins. They have their experience and people move into a beautiful home. Being in network marketing before, I loved it with a passion. The company I was with had shut down in this country. And so I knew how it worked, and I understand asset income, which was really, really exciting, and how the whole compounding thing works. But when I saw, I only watched 2 little videos. It was a cartoon drawing of these molecules and the genesis, which was the story with Virtus there in the background. That got me straight away. I was in 100%, and I just said to myself, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. It was a different story for Jeske, and she'll share that. So from there, it took time for Jeske, and she'll fill her bits in, but we engaged at a point 100%. And now we're working together every day. We love it. We have the freedom of time to do whatever we like, literally. I don't have any of the overheads that we used to have and the stress that comes with it and the liability. And we don't have any of the, employment issues or, are people going to turn up? Will the rain shut the job down? Now we have an asset income, it's grown to a 6-figure income. It's paid every single week for the rest of our lives. And as it grows, this is something we can will onto our grandchildren, which it's quite extraordinary once you get your head around how this works. But I think what the biggest thing for me, and Jeske will share, is you heard this testimonies before, and we were in the background. It's about people. That's why we do this.
Yeah. Very cool. Jeske.
So as I said earlier, I didn't quite see it at first. Seth jumped in and made this work, which was phenomenal. I had a product result very, very quickly within 3 weeks with the gel on my face, and having now radiant skin and looking a little bit younger than I did then. That was 4 years ago. And now I then fully joined SEP in the business, really because I didn't feel like I really wasn't prepared to drive an hour and a half to go to the city to get a job locally. That was very difficult to get. Then since we've been working together, which is something that we've always wanted to do, we do the meetings together. We maybe in, you know, we travel together. We have a lot of fun traveling. Yeah, we're together all the time. And on top of that, just with regards to the asset income that Seth was talking about, just recently I had to go home. I was born in Holland and raised in Holland. My family's still there. My mother's not well. I could go away for 6 weeks and not worry about the income. So that's been absolutely phenomenal. Also, my son travels a lot. He's not home here in Noosa very often. And when he is, I can just go and have lunch with him. We did that just the other day. Whilst if I'd had a job, there's no way I could have done that. So now I can't even imagine ever wanting to go back to that job lifestyle, or even with a small business where you're just exchanging time for money.
Yeah, I absolutely love what you're saying. And it's the freedom. And just to point out to our listeners, you know, when you've got a technology that impacts people's bodies and it's a consumable product and they can't get it anywhere else, they got to come back to Asea to get more, to get refueled, replenished with more of these molecules. And this means we can do the work once, but get paid over and over and over and over again. And most people never get to experience the freedom of residual income. But I got to tell you, and it sounds like you agree, when you experience residual passive income, you just cannot go back to linear income again. You can't. It's like walking around with chains on. And so it sounds like you're just experiencing that tremendous, tremendous freedom. We've got to wrap this call up here, but I want to just point something out just as we close out. I want to bring up the very last slide because it says something, making a living while making a difference. We all have to make a living in the world. We have to. But Sepp and Jeske, you disappeared in your video. I was just going to say one more thing to you. But you, I think it's clear that Michelle that was on tonight, and Julia that was on tonight, and Charlotte that was on tonight, you impacted their lives in a profound way. Now that alone is a pretty cool thing, to put your head in the pillow and know that you have had a huge impact on these ladies' lives. But you also got paid for it. You got paid for it. You're making a living while making a difference. And I think sometimes people think that's just a corny little phrase that we throw out there. No, it's not. When you've got a technology like this Redox technology, that's what we do, guys. Where the size of your commission check is a direct reflection of life's change. So I just wanted to congratulate you on all of your success. I want to thank you for your tremendous, tremendous leadership in Australia. You are diamond executives with the company. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. And that means you've built a very significant organization. You earn a very significant full-time income. And I know just from talking to you, you guys are just getting started. The business is speeding up. The acceleration is there. And so the best is yet to come. So thank you so much for bringing some of your team members on here to share their stories. And again, congratulations on all of your tremendous success. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
So guys, that is the end of our call. What I would recommend you do, if you've enjoyed hearing this call, if you're excited about this, you want to get more information, you want to get your questions answered, or you're just ready to get started, get back to the person that invited you onto this call. And if you do want to join us on this incredible Asea adventure, then I want to be the first to welcome you on board. This is Alan Noble, wishing you all the success you deserve. And we will see you back here next Thursday night as we share some more incredible stories. So thank you, and have a very good evening. Bye-bye.